Okay, how do I flip the camera to me? I can't see myself. Just log into YouTube and see. Can you see me?
You don't have access to the screen, so it says.
Yeah, I am live. Just log into YouTube and see. Can you see me? And I will just hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me on this live session. So, I'm streaming live on both YouTube and Insta, so I will keep looking between the two cameras. So, we'll just wait for a couple of minutes. Hi, Mamta. So, Harmeet has joined, and Janki has joined. Hi. Hello to everyone who's joined on Insta, and hi to all those who've joined on YouTube. So let's just give a few minutes for everybody to join in. Why don't I push this behind and keep both the cameras like this? Right? So all those on Insta, am I audible? You can just give a thumbs up. I think YouTube, yes, but Insta, am I loud and audible? Abhi, am I audible? Oh, hmm? Okay. So you can keep checking the comments and telling me, because while I speak, I may not be able to read uh, quite quickly. So you may just read the comments and tell me if there are any questions, right? Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I love you too, darling. So while we are waiting for the others to join in, I will just like to talk a little bit about what is this channel Inspo Vibes with SK? How did this channel come about, and what is the guiding thought behind this? Right? So, when this lockdown started in 2020, we were all stuck at home. There was so much of, stress all around. Everybody was in such a desperate need of hope from somewhere, and everybody needed that little pep up of motivation. And because we were not interacting, we were not going out, life was getting very lonely. And every day you would hear the COVID deaths rising, the COVID cases rising, and it kind of put every one of us into low high. So at the time, I decided that while I'm sitting at home, what is it that I can do to probably provide that one small spark of hope, some sort of inspiration, some sort of maybe a positivity or joy to people from just the comfort of my home and the safety of my home. And that's when we started with this channel, Inspo Vibes with SK, inspirational vibes, and SK is me, Sukhwinder Kaur. So this title was suggested by my daughter Harmeet, and the tech support behind creating the channel was my son Angad. And I'm ever so grateful to the two of them, because had they not encouraged me and supported me, I don't think I would have ever started this channel. So, after a year of posting videos, we realized that we had a very small but a dedicated following, and there were people who actually waited for the videos. And then we discovered that the world was moving toward Insta. More and more people were moving to Instagram, and that is where our larger part of the audience was. And therefore, I also put my presence on Instagram. I think Instagram we started just about 1 year ago, 2022 sometime. And I'm happy to say that I have more than 1200 followers on Insta. And I also realized that while on YouTube you can have longer length of videos, but on Insta everything, as the name suggests, is instant. Everybody wants instant gyan, instant motivation, instant inspiration, and they want you to tell the story like this in just 10 to 20 seconds. Nobody has the patience to wait for more than a minute. A minute is also like huge. And so I got into learning how to compress my thoughts and bring it down from a 15 minutes video on YouTube to just about 1 minute small nugget of inspiration or motivation, and put it as a reel on Instagram. So here I would also like to acknowledge a dear friend of mine. um I don't know if he has joined, Amish, or also known as Akshit on Instagram. He was a big time supporter, and he encouraged me a lot on how to migrate to Instagram. He even helped me with my first live on Instagram. So, Amish, if you are there and listening, a big salute to you and thank you to you for helping me in this step of the journey. And then again, it was my daughter and my son who help me to edit my reels, make them more relatable to their generation, because I realized from the demographic analysis that most of my viewers are in the age group of 15, 16 to about 30. So if I need to relate to that age group, then I need somebody from that age group to tell me if this makes sense to them or no. So I am thankful to Angad and Harmeet, and also I apologize for eating their brains so much to say, please tell me if this makes sense to you. Please tell me if this is okay and this is good to go. And they have always been there with me each step of the way, encouraging me, supporting me, guiding me. And thus, today we stand from 2020 June, we started 2021, 2022, and 2023. It's been a 3 year journey on this social media, on this digital platform, YouTube, and about a year on Instagram. So, all those people who follow me, all those people who like my videos and my reels and my posts, a very big thank you with folded hands. You don't know how much it means to me that I'm able to touch some lives and I'm able to give some bit of hope and happiness and joy to someone watching that reel or that video that I make. And then, of course, YouTube also has these shorts, and I realized that more people, even on YouTube, watch shorts than the long videos. So, my YouTube videos also became shorter, and there are more shorts these days that I post on my channel. So I think we are good to start for the topic of today without wasting more time. It's been about 7 minutes since we started. So as we go along, more people will join, but let's dive deep into the topic for today, and that is self confidence. What works for me to boost my self confidence, right? So let's start with a little bit of background as to what is this self confidence? What does it mean to be self confident? Then we'll talk about why is it necessary. I think we don't need to spend more time on that because all of us know it's necessary. And then the five things that work for me and boost my self confidence, and some of the pointers that are causing the self confidence to go down. So you need to watch out for those things. So let's start with understanding what is this self confidence. Self confidence is made up of two words, the self and confidence. So, a better understanding of the self, a deeper acceptance of your own self will go a long way in building your self confidence. So, what is this self that we say? Is this your body? Is this the way you look? Is it the color of your skin? Is it your knowledge? Is it your degree? Is this your designation in the job? Certainly not. Self is the actual inner being of who you really are. Who are you as a person? So when I say the sense of self in me, I am a action oriented go-getter, inspiring leader, a person who believes in the goodness in humanity, a person who is able to see something good and positive in anything and everything around, and a person who loves life, who has a zest for life. And that is who I am. I know that there are certain things I can tolerate, there are certain things I would die for and kill for, and there are certain things that I will totally not accept. There are some things that I can do, some things I can do very well, and some things I can't do, or some things I am scared of doing. So when I know all of these things about me, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what are my fears, what is it that I can do, what is it that I stand up for, what are my values, what are my principles. When I know all of this about myself, it creates a deeper sense of self awareness. The more you become aware of yourself, the more you are sure. Remember, knowledge is power. Knowing is half the battle won. So, when you know yourself, when you are aware of yourself, automatically the confidence level will start to grow, right? So self awareness is the first step to building self confidence. After self awareness, we need to focus on our sense of self worth, or we also call it the self esteem. Knowing yourself is not enough. Knowing yourself and accepting yourself the way you are, without any embarrassment, without any regret, without feeling, oh, I'm not good at this, oh, I'm not so this, oh, I don't like myself for this, but accepting, you know what? This is who I am and I love myself. I'm so proud of myself for this. I like this about myself. I think I do this very well and I know I can't do this, but that's okay. I am not a superwoman. I'm not a superman. I can't be doing and knowing everything in this world. So when I become aware and when I become accepting of myself, my sense of self worth and self esteem rises. When my self esteem and my self worth rises, it is naturally going to boost my confidence in my own self. So, what is this confidence? Is it some kind of a degree? Is it some kind of a crash course? No. It is the faith you have in your own abilities, in your own self that हाँ ये मैं कर सकता हूँ या कर सकती हूँ. आज मुझे कोई बोले आपको एक आधे घंटे में जाना है और आपका एक लेट्स से किसी टीवी चैनल पे इंटरव्यू है. So I will have one of the two reactions. Or first I will say, "Oh my God, interview! मैं क्या बोलूँगी? मुझे क्या आता है? मेरा क्यों इंटरव्यू लेंगे? No, मैं नहीं कर सकती." The other one will be, हाँ ठीक है, मेरा इंटरव्यू, ठीक है, देख लेंगे जो सवाल पूछेंगे. मेरे बारे में तो मुझसे ज़्यादा कोई नहीं जानता. मेरे बारे में पूछेंगे, वो तो मैं बता ही दूंगी. नहीं आएगा तो बोल देंगे, I don't know, pass, right? So that attitude is what is self-confidence. Knowing yourself, knowing your abilities, knowing your shortcomings, and then being able to build on them, and then being able to have that attitude towards any kind of situation in life. That is what is self confidence. So, are we good so far? Is everybody with me? Yes? Right. So, you can put a thumbs up to indicate that yes, you're able to understand. If you have a question somewhere, आपको कोई सवाल है, आपको कुछ बताना है, something you need to share, please type in your comments. Harmeet is sitting with me. She'll read the comments and let me know. So for all those who have joined in a little late, जो लोग कुछ देर बाद ज्वाइन हुए हैं और हमारा टॉक शुरू हो गया था, एक क्विक हम रिकैप करते हैं. ओके, सो बेसिकली सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस जो शब्द है वो दो शब्दों से बना है, एक सेल्फ और एक कॉन्फिडेंस. जितना अच्छे से आप अपने सेल्फ को समझेंगे, पहचानेंगे, एक्सेप्ट करेंगे और प्यार करेंगे, उतना ही आपका सेल्फ वर्थ बढ़ेगा, सेल्फ एस्टीम बढ़ेगा एंड देयरफॉर आपका सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा. और सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ने के लिए, सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ाना ही क्यों है? सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ाना इसलिए है क्योंकि हम सबको ज़िंदगी में बहुत कुछ करना है, हम सबको ज़िंदगी में चमकना है, हम सबको ज़िंदगी में आगे बढ़ना है. लेकिन बहुत बार नॉलेज हमारे पास है, स्किल हमारे पास है, टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे पास है, लेकिन फिर भी हम पीछे रह जाते हैं. पता है क्यों? बिकॉज हमारे को हमारे ऊपर विश्वास नहीं है, हमें हमारे ऊपर सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं होता है, इसलिए हम घबरा जाते हैं। हमारे ऊपर स्पॉटलाइट आती है तो हम मुंह ढक के शर्मा जाते हैं। हमारे हाथ में माइक आता है तो हम दूसरे की तरफ इशारा कर देते हैं, ये बोलेगा, ये बोलेगी, हम नहीं बोलते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि हमारे अंदर वो सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस ही बहुत कम है, राइट? सो वो सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस को हम कैसे बूस्ट करें, आज हम उसी मुद्दे पर बात कर रहे हैं। क्योंकि मैं बहुत बार देखती हूँ, कई जगह जाती हूँ, इंटरव्यूज, इतने लोगों के मैं इंटरव्यूज लेती हूँ एवरी वीक। आई थिंक 10-15 लोगों के मैं इंटरव्यूज लेती हूँ फॉर वेरियस सीनियरिटी एंड डेजिग्नेशन। बहुत जगह मैं मीटिंग्स में जाती हूँ, बहुत जगह क्लाइंट से मिलती हूँ, बहुत प्रेजेंटेशंस में देखती हूँ और प्रेजेंटेशंस करती भी हूँ। अक्सर अच्छे से अच्छे नॉलेज वाले लोग फेल हो जाते हैं एक इम्पैक्टफुल प्रेजेंटेशन देने में, एक सक्सेसफुल इंटरव्यू देने में, एक इंटरव्यू में क्रैक करने में। क्यों? क्योंकि उनका कॉन्फिडेंस ही लो होता है। और ये लो कॉन्फिडेंस की वजह से कितने उनको वो क्या बोलते हैं ना, अपने अंदर ही वो टॉर्चर सहना पड़ता है, अपने आप का मन मारना पड़ता है, बहुत सारे उनके सपने अधूरे रह जाते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि वो सपनों को पूरा करने के लिए उन्हें जो वो इंटरव्यू पार करना था, जो प्रेजेंटेशन देना था, वो नहीं दे पाए। ऐसा नहीं कि उनके पास नॉलेज नहीं थी, उनके पास सिर्फ और सिर्फ ये कॉन्फिडेंस की कमी थी। एंड देयरफॉर आई थॉट आज की जनरेशन भी बहुत इजीली मोबाइल फ़ोन पे तो चैट कर लेती है, बहुत इजीली टेक्स्टिंग तो कर लेते हैं, ईमेल्स तो टकाटक लिख लेते हैं, लेकिन जब आती है फेस टू फेस की बारी, जब आती है किसी से सामने बैठ के बात करने की बारी, तो सबके मुंह पे जिप साइलेंसर लग जाता है। क्यों? क्योंकि उनको वो अपने ऊपर कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है। दे डोंट नो वेदर दे आर स्पीकिंग द राइट थिंग, वेदर दे आर स्पीकिंग थिंग्स प्रॉपरली, एंड इज दिस व्हाट द पर्सन सिटिंग अक्रॉस वांट्स टू हियर। वो सारे सवालों के घेरे में वो ऐसे फंस जाते हैं कि वो बोलते ही नहीं और वो मौका हाथ से निकल जाता है। रोजमर्रा में भी बहुत सारे लोग एकदम अच्छे चकाचक कपड़े पहन के जा रहे हैं, लेकिन वो उनकी चाल ढाल और बॉडी लैंग्वेज देख के हमको लगता है, अरे इसका पोस्चर थोड़ा और स्ट्रेट होता तो कितने स्मार्ट लगते, अरे इनका थोड़ा आई कांटेक्ट होता तो और कितने स्मार्ट लगते। और ये आई कांटेक्ट वो क्यों नहीं बनाते हैं? क्यों वो नीचे देख के चलते हैं? ये कंधे वो स्लाउच करके क्यों चलते हैं? क्योंकि बेसिकली उनके अंदर वो जो सेल्फ वर्थ, सेल्फ एस्टीम और जिससे जुड़ा हुआ वो सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस है, वो बहुत कम होता है, बहुत लो होता है। इस वजह से वो चल भी रहे हैं तो थोड़ा स्लाउच होके नीचे देख के। तो एक स्मार्ट पर्सनालिटी भी एकदम अनइम्प्रेसिव और अनस्मार्ट हो जाती है, सिंपली बिकॉज ऑफ लैक ऑफ सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस। So this is how important this tiny little thing called self confidence is, जो कहीं मार्केट में अगर मिलती तो शायद हम भी 1-2 किलो रोज खरीद के खा लेते, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली देर इज नो पिल that you can take, there is no protein shake that you can make out of it, there is only and only some things that you can practice, you can work on yourself, you can commit to yourself, and over a period of time build this self confidence to be the best version of yourself, right? So now let's talk about, I'll take a pause here, okay? Are there any questions so far or any comments so far? If anybody has any comments, Harmeet, would you just check? Any questions anyone has posted?
No,
No
it's just
questions, right?
hi, hello.
So I think I'm making sense to the people listening on both Insta and YouTube. So let's start with the 5 or 6 top things that work for me. मेरे लिए क्या काम करता है? मैंने ना पिछले एक 3-4 दिन में यूट्यूब पे और इंस्टा पे इतने सारे वीडियो सर्च मार डाले, सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस, हाउ टू बिल्ड योर सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस, और मैं इतनी परेशान हो गई कि मैं अपना सिर पकड़ के बैठ गई, बिकॉज ईच वन ऑफ देम इज गिविंग सम सॉर्ट ऑफ ज्ञान। अरे भाई करना क्या है, ये तो कोई मुझे बताए सादे सरल सीधे शब्दों में। प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट टू डू। एंड आई डिड नॉट फाइंड क्लियर आंसर्स टू क्या करा जाए और क्या करना चाहिए कि मेरा सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़े। ज्ञान तो बहुत मिल गया, अरे ज्ञान तो मेरे पास भी है, लेकिन कुछ क्विक टिप्स तो दो। सो मुझे लगा आज के सेशन में मैं ज्ञानबाजी नहीं करूंगी, वो देर इज इनफ ऑफ मैटर अवेलेबल ऑन ऑल दीज यूट्यूब चैनल्स एज वेल एज ऑन इंस्टा. I'm just going to share with you the 5 or 6 top things that work for me to build my self confidence. Ready? So, if you want, you can make a note. Please take down either on your phone or on some diary and notepad and see if it works for you. Because not necessary all of these will work for you, but at least kuch na kuch to kaam karega na bhai. And then build your own formula for building your self confidence. So, the first thing that helps me to build my self confidence is being well groomed. हमेशा अपने जो ग्रूमिंग है, चाहे वो आपके बाल हो, चाहे वो आपका मेकअप हो, चाहे वो आपके ड्रेसिंग हो, चाहे वो आपके शूज़ हो, चाहे वो आपका बॉडी स्प्रे हो, everything is has to be properly groomed. Whenever I'm feeling low, whenever I'm feeling very, लो वाइब, लो इंस्पिरेशन, तो मैं अपने आप को खुश करने के लिए और मोटिवेट करने के लिए और अपना सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ाने के लिए क्या करती हूँ? I go to the parlor, I get a nice haircut, or I get a good head massage and a shampoo, or I just sit down and paint my nails. I dress up well, and I dress up the way I like to. And when I say well groomed, I don't mean spending a lot of money, or well groomed does not mean buying expensive clothing or expensive brands. It means you just look good. ओवरऑल देख के अपने आप को आईने में देखो और बोलो वाह क्या बात है। जब ऐसा लगा तो दैट इज बीइंग वेल ग्रूम्ड. So, my first thing that works for me when I am trying to boost my confidence is being well groomed. Looking good makes me feel good and it boosts my confidence in myself. And it's not about looking good doesn't mean that if I'm not beautiful, I think oh मुझे तो भगवान ने ऐसा बनाया है, मेरे तो ये है वो है, I'm not good looking, so how do I? So grooming has nothing to do with beauty, and everybody's meaning of beauty is very different, let me tell you. So I don't claim I'm beautiful, but I claim that I'm always well groomed and looking smart. I like to look at myself time and time again. I love to click my selfies, and that means I have a high self esteem and a sense of self worth. And therefore, when I walk with my shoulders pulled back. I walk with my eyes looking straight into the person. And so my self confidence is oozing out of my being. And anybody who looks at me will say, what a confident lady, right? So the first thing that works for me is always being well groomed. The second thing that works for me is whenever I'm going for an important meeting, important presentation, or anything important task that I need to do, even like today's live session, I always like to take some time and prepare. Read something, write about it, think about it, jot down your thoughts, and be a little prepared. Don't ever go extempore and say, देख लेंगे. That देख लेंगे is kind of overconfidence, and overconfidence can at times lead you in a very embarrassing spot. If you want to put your best foot forward and with the purpose of winning over the people, winning over the interview or the presentation, and make a good impression, always spend some time to prepare, because preparation will give you the feeling of being familiar. हमें लगेगा हाँ ये सब्जेक्ट पे मुझे आता है तो मेरे को नॉलेज है तो मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ता है, कॉन्फिडेंस ही तो हमें बढ़ाना है मेरे भाई. So second thing is always spend some time to prepare for any important meeting, presentation, discussion, review, anything that you might be going for, and that which is important. The third thing that works for me is सेल्फ अवेयरनेस. लाइक आई मैंशनड एर्लियर, अपने बारे में मेरी क्या क्या स्ट्रेंथ्स है, मेरी क्या वीकनेसेस है, मैं क्या बहुत अच्छे से कर सकती हूँ, क्या ठीक ठाक कर सकती हूँ, क्या मैं नहीं कर सकती हूँ, मुझे क्या आता है, मुझे क्या नहीं आता है. जितना हमारा सेल्फ अवेयरनेस बेटर होगा उतना हमारा सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस high hoga. So, a deepened sense of self awareness leading to self esteem will boost your confidence, and that is what works for me. The fourth one that works for me is creating and protecting the positive vibes around me. मैं मेरे आसपास के एनवायरनमेंट में नेगेटिव एलिमेंट्स को पहले तो आने ही नहीं देती हूँ. लेकिन अगर कोई आ गए, और मेरे टेबल पे अक्सर ऑफिस में ऐसा होता है, बहुत लोग आते हैं दिन में अपनी अपनी फ्रस्ट्रेशन और नेगेटिविटी और क्रिबिंग्स और कंप्लेंट्स लेके आते हैं और मेरे टेबल पर डाल देते हैं. So when they are leaving, I listen to everything that they have to say. I give a sympathetic hearing. But when they are leaving, I say, hey, my friend, ये जो टेबल पे तुम्हारा पसारा है ना नेगेटिविटी का, इसको समेटो और डस्टबिन में डालते जाओ, नहीं तो अपनी जेब में लेके जाओ, मुझे मत दे के जाओ. Which means what? In simple words, I'm always protecting my own aura. I'm always protecting my energies, and I do not allow others' negative vibes, their negativity to impact me. Because when you are surrounded by good music, good books, good people, good thoughts, good vibes, you will feel good about yourself. When you feel good about yourself, your self confidence will automatically go up. Make sense to you? It takes a lot of courage to tell somebody, or you may not even have to tell them. You just have to do this mentally. When the person leaves, take everything that they said and consciously chuck it in and say, I'm not going to allow any of this inside of me. So the third thing that works me, or the fourth thing that works for me, is creating and protecting an environment of positive vibes around me. And then the fifth one that works for me is जब मैं अपने लिए कोई टास्क असाइन करती हूँ, जब मैं सोचती हूँ मुझे ये करना है, तो एक बार मैंने जब डिसाइड कर लिया मुझे ये करना है, तो उस टास्क के प्रति एक कमिटमेंट रखना, टू कमिट टू इट. बिकॉज जब हम वो टास्क कंप्लीट कर लेंगे, चाहे वो कितना ही छोटा सा क्यों ना हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आज मैंने सोचा आज मुझे मेरी अलमारी साफ करनी है, और अगर मैंने वो शाम को अपनी अलमारी साफ कर ली, so that sense of satisfaction that you get of having achieved something, of having set a goal and completed it, it automatically boosts your self कॉन्फिडेंस. और अगर आप नहीं करेंगे तो क्या होगा, आपको लगेगा एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, क्या यार मैंने ये सोचा था, मैंने ये नहीं किया. दैट सेंस ऑफ फेलियर, दैट सेंस ऑफ नॉट हैविंग डन, एंड देन यू स्टार्ट कर्सिंग योरसेल्फ एंड सेइंग यार ये क्या है, तुम अपने आप को टास्क देती है, अपने ही टास्क कंप्लीट नहीं करती है, तुम ये नहीं कर सकती, वो नहीं, एंड देन यू गेट इनटू नेगेटिव सेल्फ टॉक. So, what works for me is when I plan something for myself, when I commit some work for myself, I complete it. No matter how small or big, I complete it, and that gives me that satisfaction of having completed that task, and it builds my self confidence कि हाँ मैं जो करना चाहती हूँ वो मैं कर लेती हूँ. 99 out of 100 I do it. Some odd time, for some reason I may not be able to do something, but then that's okay, as long as the reason is not procrastination, but it is something else, unplanned, unexpected, unforeseen, that walked into your timetable. It's perfectly fine. And that brings me to the last point that works for me is जब कुछ अच्छा करो कोई और तुम्हारी तारीफ करे या ना करे, don't forget to take time out to give yourself a pat on the back and say, SK, you did a good job, well done. Because if you will not appreciate yourself, how do you expect anybody else to appreciate you? So when you do a job, you complete something and you know you did it well, you did it in time, take time out and appreciate yourself. हम लोग अपने आप को बैशिंग बहुत इजीली करते हैं, अपने आप पे गुस्सा बहुत जल्दी करते हैं, अरे क्या यार तुमने ये नहीं किया, अरे क्या यार तुमने ये नहीं किया, अरे मैं ऐसी हूँ, मैं ये हूँ, मैं वो हूँ. तो अगर हम अपने आप के ऊपर गुस्सा इतना करते हैं तो कभी कभी अपने आप को शाबाशी भी तो देनी चाहिए. सो द लास्ट एंड द सिक्स्थ पॉइंट दैट वर्क्स फॉर मी इज giving myself a pat on the back and saying, you know what, SK, you did good. And next time, we'll do even better. So these are the top six things that work for me and always work for me over the years. There are many more, but these are the top six things that always work for me and help to keep on raising my own self esteem, my self worth, and my self confidence. So, quickly, I will summarize for all those who joined in late the six things that work for me to boost my self confidence. First one is being well groomed, always being smartly dressed. And when I see myself in the mirror, I say, "Mwah, you're looking good, babe," right? That boosts my self confidence. The second one is whenever there is some important event or activity happening in your life, spend some time to prepare for it. Preparation and knowledge will always build your confidence a few notches. The third one is self awareness of what you can do, what are your top strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your shortcomings. Self awareness will give you more self confidence. Then, creating and protecting the aura around you and the vibes around you should always be positive, and that will boost your confidence. And last but not the least, don't shy away from giving yourself a pat on the back whenever you do something good. Okay? And with that, I would also like to spend the last couple of minutes on what are some of the triggers for low self confidence. High self confidence, building self confidence, तो हमने लास्ट 20-25 मिनट्स में बात किया, लेकिन फिर भी हमारा कॉन्फिडेंस लो हो जाता है, लो होता है तभी तो हमें उसे हाई करना होता है. तो ऐसे क्या कॉमन ट्रिगर जो मैंने अक्सर लोगों में देखे हैं वो मैं आपके साथ शेयर करती हूँ. वाई? सो दैट यू आर अवेयर that these are the triggers that will pull your confidence down. So next time one of these you observe, you will be careful and pull yourself out of it. Okay, so the first one is self doubt. हमेशा अपने ऊपर शक करते रहना, अरे पता नहीं मैं कर पाऊंगी कि नहीं, अरे पता नहीं ये मेरे से होगा कि नहीं, अरे पता नहीं. Why are we doubting? We doubt when we think of the outcome. Don't think of the outcome, only think of the task at hand and doing it to the best of your ability. अपनी काबिलियत में सबसे बेस्ट अपना एफर्ट डालो, and that's about it. Then self doubts will not come. So the self doubt is the first sabotage to your self confidence. The second one is गिल्ट ड्यू टू प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन. आज नहीं तो कल कर देंगे, कल नहीं तो परसों कर देंगे, हम प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट करते हैं, काम को पोस्टपोन करते हैं. पोस्टपोन करने से हमें गिल्टी फील होता है और हमारा खुद पर से कॉन्फिडेंस और विश्वास कम होते जाते हैं. थर्ड वन इज कंपेयरिंग योर सेल्फ टू अदर. अरे उसका देखो कितना अच्छा चल रहा है, अरे उसको कितने अच्छे मार्क्स मिल गए, अरे उसको मेरे से ज़्यादा इंक्रीमेंट मिल गया, अरे बॉस ने उसको अप्रिशिएट किया, मुझे अप्रिशिएट नहीं किया, अरे उसकी गाड़ी मेरी गाड़ी से बेटर है, अरे उसका लैपटॉप मेरे लैपटॉप से सुपीरियर, उसका फ़ोन मेरे फ़ोन से बेटर. वाई द हेल डू वी नीड टू कंपेयर अवरसेल्फ? यू सेट योर ओन बेंचमार्क्स and follow those. Why do we need to compare ourselves to anybody else? We are all unique. और ये फालतू की चीज़ों में तो बेंचमार्किंग और कंपैरिजन करो ही मत। बट जब हम कंपैरिजन करते हैं, अपने आप को लैक में पाते हैं, और जब अपने आप को लैक में पाते हैं तो हमारा सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस कम हो जाता है। सो बी माइंडफुल, स्टॉप योर सेल्फ वेन एवर यू गेट इन टू दिस कंपेयरिंग योर सेल्फ टू अदर्स। And one more thing, very important and very prevalent in the new generation today, the young generation of 16 to 25, most of the time they fall into low self confidence because of seeking validation outside. They seek validation from their friends, from their peer group, from their family, from everyone around them. But hey, who are they to judge you? You know yourself, you know your self worth, you know your self esteem. You are the best judge of you. You don't need validation from outside. If you believe you did a good job, pat yourself on the back and move on to the next task, because you owe it to yourself and yourself alone. So don't start seeking external validation. You will never get it. You will always get mixed reaction, because there'll be so many people who are jealous of you. So they will not validate you and pull you into low self confidence. And last one, low sense of self worth and self esteem. Oh my God, this is by far the most dangerous. When you yourself don't value and know what is your worth, अपनी कीमत अपनी ही आंखों में इतनी कम है, तो हम दूसरों से क्या एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे? When we value ourselves so less, then our confidence also goes down. Our body language is low, and our body language is one of low self confidence. So be mindful of these five things that pull you into low confidence. Practice any of those six top things that work for me to boost my self confidence. And that's it from my side for today. I think we have overshot our time by just a few minutes. I'm sorry for that. I got carried away in all the excitement in talking about my favorite topic, and that is self confidence. So, here I come to the end of today's session. If there are any questions or comments, I am happy to take them. And if you don't want to share them now, please do post in your comments on my YouTube channel or my Insta channel. I would love to hear from you. And is there any other topic that you would like me to cover in next session coming up very soon? Please do let me know. I'll be happy to talk about it. आज का सेशन कैसा लगा? अपने कमेंट्स जरूर लिख के भेजिए। आपके कोई सवाल या कोई आपके विचार हो तो please do share with me, and don't forget to hit on the like button if this video made some sense to you. So that's it from my side. And once again, thank you for all those viewers who've joined in. Thank you for always watching my comments, watching my videos. Your comments, your likes, and your shares, truly appreciated. Keep it coming, and let's spread the vibes of inspiration. So till we meet again, this is SK signing off. You take care. Adios and bye bye.